Hello, everyone, and welcome to Beyond the Ball. I am Colly, and this week I am joined by an elated Big Paddy. Paddy, what's happening?
Champions, oe, oe, oe. Ah, yeah, feels good to be winning a trophy this early in the season as well. It just sets you up so well for the rest of the season. So, how are you, Colly? How's
No, I'm
your
not good.
football life
I'm not
going?
good.
No,
I'm not good. I'm not
no.
good. Polar opposites here. You know what I mean? You may as well. It's chalk and cheese here. What's going on between the two of us? Last
Yeah.
year it was me like gloating, not really even gloating, but me being the optimistic one, and you being the Debbie Downer.
Things looked
And
a lot better for Chelsea this time last season. Like how the
do you know why?
mighty have fallen, how quickly it can happen as well. When
Do
you
you know
get
why?
the excuses coming out of that man. I'm sure we'll talk about it, but yeah.
Yeah, we will get into it. We're going to be looking at the results from the week on. We'll be looking at a little bit of Liverpool as well, Paddy. Oh, two beautiful results for them.
They're so bad.
And then we'll have a quick look at the fantasy football. There's been some movement in the fantasy football, Paddy. You'll have to explain to us what's going on here.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna have the betting challenge as well, Paddy. We're back. It's Tuesday.
I got
Connor
zero.
has made it. Yeah, we're starting. Me and you are starting again, but Connor has made it through his first bet and is on to the second bet.
Yeah.
So we'll be showing his bet. And
Hopefully he's on again before the time he wins, gets up to 1,000.
I know he'll get to about 800 and then he'll pretend he put it on something and then it'll lose. Be like, oh no, but he's really after taking it out. We don't know. Yeah, and then we're gonna be looking at the weekend's football. So Paddy, we're gonna jump straight into the football review. Paddy, the first match we're gonna look at is a beautiful thing. It's Real Madrid and Liverpool. 5-2 to Real Madrid. Liverpool gone 2-0 up and then getting absolutely spankaged. It was just beautiful to see.
And group chats, I was in group chats and all the Liverpool fans when they went 2-0 up and all going, no, we're the best, we're back and all, we're back. You're not back anywhere.
Yeah, back to Liverpool with a fucking 5-2 defeat. Embarrassing.
This was in Anfield.
Yeah, it's in Anfield, yeah.
Oh, and the calamities and all, Alisson and all. Oh, fucking what calamities from that goalkeeper.
It was great. I have to admit, though,
wasn't he? So they were more solid at the back.
Yeah. The most overrated centre half ever in the Premier League. I've said it. I've always said it. He had 2 or 3 good seasons, one really good season, and the rest kind of mediocre. Hasn't been the same since his injury. He's done. He's finished.
That's the difference between the really top players. He won the league, and then his form went out the window. Yeah, and the real winners want to win again and again and again.
Yeah,
just saying.
I'm sure he wants to win. He just doesn't have the talent to do it. You know.
Yeah, true. Yeah,
that's just the way it is. You know. So yeah, unfortunately, Connor, and again, it's a reoccurring theme. Liverpool don't win. Connor's not here, so there's not much stick we can give him. I'm sure he'll probably listen to this back when he's driving into work or something, and then he'll hear. So I just want to say. That's all I wanted to say to him.
You pretend to be Connor there for a minute. So Connor, when will Klopp be gone?
Look. I don't know if, I don't think they should sack him. I don't think they should. I don't think they should sack him. Like the players, we've said it for ages. It's the players. And then I'll just get my fence out and I'll stick it up my arse and then plonk it into the ground while I sit on it and give no opinions on it. So I'm afraid to give me actual thoughts on it because I don't want to look silly. I'm gonna love when he hears this. He's gonna text me, and now he's not gonna text me because I was after saying that. Paddy, we're moving off this match, right? And we're going on to the next one, which is even more embarrassing. It's 0-0 against Crystal Palace.
Oh my god!
It's great.
And everyone was thinking Liverpool were going to have 2 great games in the Premier League, one against Crystal Palace, and they're playing tomorrow night at home as well. And they just can't pick up a result that saved their lives. They got a result against Newcastle, but I kind of knew when they got that result that wasn't against the Newcastle that was really consistent and performing really well towards the first 18 games of the season. Newcastle's form had dropped off a cliff and they were drawing a lot of games, and for Liverpool to beat them wasn't that big of an accomplishment really. And I think you're seeing the real Liverpool now between Real Madrid and then Crystal Palace. They're gone.
Yeah, I agree. I just think, look, I'm going back to Liverpool. I just think it's embarrassing they can't score goals. And you can say whatever you want. They've got Salah, Gakpo, Firmino, Jota, Thiago, Van Dijk, Robertson, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Alisson, who's the best goalkeeper in the world apparently. So there's 9 world-class players, and they still can't get a win.
Yeah,
I mean, and nothing gets talked about with Klopp. Like, something has to give there.
If this had been probably anybody else but Palace, they probably would have lost. It's just Palace can't really score either. They're not the best team in the league, or anywhere close to it.
Yeah.
So we wait and see how they do tomorrow night.
Yeah, be good to see. Paddy, unfortunately, I have to go on to the next one, and it's Chelsea and Spurs.
It's nearly down. I nearly even feel like I don't even want to laugh anymore because it's just pity. I feel now. It's not even. Yeah. It's really bad.
I'm pitying myself, Paddy.
You're doing worse than Liverpool.
I know, and we've got a better squad.
Much better,
a far better squad.
Yeah,
and that's
much
why
better club in terms of willing to spend money. You should be streets ahead of Liverpool.
Paddy, it's hard at the moment to be a Chelsea fan. And I say the same thing every week, and I'm always optimistic that we can get a result. The big one I thought we were going to get was that Southampton game, when I was like, right, this is going to be the one. We're going to win a 3-0. It's going to be a turnaround. It's going to be a good result going into the Spurs game, a little bit of momentum. Can't get it. Can't get the momentum. Now, I put up a video on TikTok, and I got a little bit heated in the video on TikTok because it was like... That was literally when Spurs were after scoring that second goal, right? And I've never felt like this as a Chelsea fan. I was watching it downstairs, right? And they scored again, and I stood up, and my heart was going 90. Like, I could feel myself getting so worked up about it. And I was walking around me house going, what am I going to do? As if, like, I'm going to be able to affect it. I'm like, what am I going to do here? What do I do here? And my fucking heart was going 90. I'm like, what am I going to do? And I fucking stormed upstairs, and I put the fucking phone on the oak, and I just fucking unleashed it then. I was just like, that was the only way I could get it out. So that video was me at the fucking Red Raw when it was fucking, they were literally after scoring. The game wasn't even finished. They were only after scoring. I got up and I was just bulling around the house. I was actually literally just storming up and down the house. And I eventually made my way up here, and I was like, you know what? I have to vent it out now.
And are the cracks starting to show now with the manager as well? Like, what is he coming out with now, saying that they didn't have a proper preseason and all this now? Like, whatever, say that when you come into the club, you know what I mean? Like, we have to get the players up. He's talking about preseason, and they bought a completely new squad in January. What is he talking about preseason for? The half of the players he's playing, they only got a month ago.
Yeah, exactly. And another thing is, when he came in, his first fucking 6 games, he'd won 5 and drawn 1 as well or something. So, like, how can you say all of a sudden you've gone on a good run, you've got good results, then all of a sudden your fucking form falls off a cliff, and now it's the preseason? Like, that's bollocks. It's absolute horseshit. Like, there's not one word of truth in that. I don't think he even believed it himself when he fucking said it. Like, it's just pathetic. And then another thing is, go on.
No, I'm just going to say, and the money he has and he earns and playing for the club, he should have a better PR team to be fucking putting him wide, to not talking like that in front of the cameras, because it just makes you seem like an idiot. Yeah,
exactly. And now what's going on is that a presenter asked him, I can't remember who it was, but he asked him a lovely, juicy, gorgeous question, in my opinion. And it's like, you've always kind of come out and said that the manager backs you and he's always got your back. Does getting bad results like this test your relationship with the owner? Sorry, I said manager there, I meant owner. Okay. Does getting bad results like this test your relationship with your owner? And he's like, yeah, of course it does. And that to me was the first breaking point, where he hasn't always been like, no, they're 100% behind me. They don't care what happens here. It doesn't matter the results. They're always going to be behind me. They're behind me. That was the first sign I seen where he kind of went, yeah, well, look, I have to look at myself, and like, I know that's not good enough for this club. So to me, he's already admitted, right, I'm not doing good enough. And then we're still not like we're still getting this kind of message out from like random, like that guy Matt Law that works for the Daily Telegraph or whatever he's working for, keeps saying that he's been told the club are still backing him. So I don't know what's going on. The communication's shocking between the club and the fans and what's actually happening. Like Potter keeps coming out after every game and he's like, look, we know we have to do better. We know we have to obviously you have to do better, but fucking do it. Like, stop just fucking saying you have to do better. Like, it's all bullshit. Just fucking, it's like me saying, oh, yeah, I'm going to get fit and going to the gym. I'm not. I'm a fat cunt, and that's just the way it is. I'm not doing anything about it. It's in my hands. I can't do anything about it because I just don't have the motivation to go to the gym. He's just not motivating his players to work hard, to get results. Tactically, he's not there because he's unable to break teams down. Like Paddy, we haven't gone on a run like this in 10 years. So we haven't not had a win in 6 or 7 games in 10 years. It was the first time in 35 years that Southampton beat us twice in the league in 1 year. All these records that he's breaking are the wrong records. And if he was in Roman Abramovich's era, he'd be sacked. He'd have a new job by now because he'd have been gone. He'd have been gone already. Like, he'd be executed, he'd be dead.
Down the column was. Look, the running theme with all the pundits now as well is that he doesn't seem to know who to pick. And he nearly seems like, because all these new players have been brought in, he has to give them all a game. And tactically, he's not thinking of, how do I win this game? It's, how can I fit all these players and give them a match? I don't think he never would have had this problem when he was at Brighton previously, because he had his squad of players. They couldn't spend a great deal of money, but now I just think he's way over his head. But it's gone to stage now with the club that they've nearly waited too long now to get rid of him, so they may as well give him till the end of the season.
Here's a few problems that we have, Paddy. Right, you're saying kind of about his team selection. His team selection against Spurs was absolutely horrendous. Right, so Fofana has come back. He played a good game, and then he gets put onto the bench. Right, he starts Koulibaly beside Thiago Silva. Koulibaly is absolutely headless at the best of times. So we have Fofana sitting on the bench there as well. Could have played him. Then Koulibaly causes Thiago Silva to get injured. Thiago Silva has now done knee ligament damage, and he's out for probably fuck knows how long. Like, I've had that, and like, that's weeks, probably months, like, out on the sideline. That could technically be Thiago Silva fucking retired. Like, that's because Koulibaly, I know it actually came from, I think it was Kane landing on him, but Koulibaly gets in his way and he causes that injury. So that's fucking Potter causing that. Then we have Ziyech, who didn't want to be at Chelsea, who was over in PSG. The only reason he's still at the club is because Chelsea fucked up the paperwork. He's starting every fucking game. The chap doesn't even want to be there. And then you've got Mudryk, who he's signed for 80 million, who looks like he's a good player, but just needs games and needs fucking experience in the league. Sits him on the bench. He's got Mason Mount sitting on the bench. Look, let's be honest, Mason Mount hasn't been great lately. His form isn't good. He probably deserves to be on the bench, but he's still better than Ruben Loftus fucking Cheek, who shouldn't be playing 1 minute, never mind fucking 90. He's one of the worst midfielders that Chelsea have, and he should not be playing in the team. And we've got Conor Gallagher sitting on the bench, and we have Zakaria, who looks a very decent player. And what happened during the match is that he took all them players off that shouldn't have been played. He didn't take Koulibaly because he couldn't, because Thiago went off. But he took Ruben Loftus-Cheek off, and he took Ziyech off. 1, because they're both shy and they shouldn't be playing. And 2, because he has a better fucking option on the bench in anybody. He's got Mudryk sitting on the bench. He has Fofana at number 9 sitting on the bench. He has Aubameyang, who's a number 9, who hasn't been playing well, but he's sitting on the bench. He's got Mason Mount sitting on the bench.
But it's really getting bad when you're calling for Aubameyang to come on.
I know, but like we're not working with Havertz. And how many times is he going to play Havertz up top? I know he's probably the best option, and he's probably the most suited at the moment to that role. But we haven't, like, Paddy, we've scored about 5 goals since Potter's taken over. And we scored 2 in the last 10 games.
Players getting so, like, I was watching the Spurs game, and Mason Mount looked so frustrated, especially coming towards the last 20, 25 minutes. Like, and I've never seen him playing like that before. But you could see, like, he's just sick of it. He's absolutely sick of being in this inept side.
Yeah, and one of the worst things, Paddy, is individually, individually, we're all actually very brilliant. Like they're like
Yeah.
Joe Felix,
Oh, yeah.
brilliant. Raheem
Yeah.
Sterling in his day, very
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Fucking Havertz, to be honest with you, is very good. He's a good ball player. He's just not number 9, he's number 10. Like the likes of fucking Enzo Fernandez, brilliant. Thiago Silva, brilliant. Like all these players, Reece James, one of the best right backs in Europe. All these players are individually brilliant, and there is passages of play where they're actually linking up very well, and you can see when they're kind of doing what they need to do, they link up quite well. But then when it starts getting to the final third of the pitch, they're clueless because they're not drilled.
Yeah.
Like the wingers aren't drilled to go by the lines to cut inside. They don't know what they're doing.
Let's look at this in the give it a FIFA analogy. Okay, you can go out and buy 20 of the best players in the world, but if they haven't got chemistry and you haven't got a manager that can create chemistry between the players, they'll never perform together. And I've been watching that United the last 10 years, spending more than any other club in the last 10, 12 years, Manchester United. But buying individuals, not buying people that can do a job for the manager tactically that he wants. And why is this? Is it because the manager tactically isn't providing the wishes to the owners because he hasn't really got the tactical know-how to be able to put that across to the owners, because they just seem to go out and supermarket sweep the players?
Paddy, Potter played a tactic at Brighton which suited a Brighton team who are a subpar team, and it worked quite well. They found them very hard to break down. Like they had Lewis Dunk and they had who they got beside Shane Duffy, two powerhouses in the middle. So nothing in the air was ever won against them. So they were very good. Cucurella was there as well, who was brilliant for them. So he had an unbelievable defense, and then he was able to play the ball out from the back, and it looked like he was able to play some good football. But in reality, they were just defending really well because they had really good defenders. And like this tactic doesn't work for Chelsea. And they can say whatever you want. He doesn't have a plan B, and he doesn't have, to be honest with you, doesn't actually look like he has a plan A. He doesn't really know what he's doing, and the players don't look like they know what they're doing, and the fans don't know what's going on either. I wouldn't mind if he played a certain tactic and it wasn't working, and it's just nothing. There's nothing there. Like I said it before, and I keep getting messages on Instagram and all asking who would I like. I've said it already. I said Pochettino, Luis Enrique, Diego Simeone. Give me Jose Mourinho back. Don't care. Zinedine Zidane. Like there's 5 managers that are all available. Well, maybe not Mourinho and Simeone at the moment, but the other 3 are all available and are better options than what he is. In my opinion, he's better option. He's not good enough. He's not suitable for that job. I said it in day one, and you know when you get a gut feeling about something, Paddy, and you everyone always says trust your gut. My gut instinct with Potter was that he was never a Chelsea manager and never a standard of Chelsea. Chelsea managers need a certain pedigree. He didn't have it. And everybody slated me for calling him after the first fucking, I think we had a draw in the first game. I said I didn't see it, I don't see it. I don't think I'll ever see it, and I got fucking slated. But again, I hate the fact that I was right about that, because now look at the position we're in, you know. So it's disappointing. But anyway, look, Paddy, that's enough ranting about Chelsea for me. We'll move on to this one, Paddy.
Go on. No, we skipped United Barcelona.
Oh shit. I don't have a graphic right. Hold on. So talk to me about it first. What score was it again?
2-1 to United. Lewandowski got the penalty fairly early doors. Fernandez gave it away, which, look, there's no arguments. It was a penalty all day long, absolutely all day long. It was a scary moment. But then, look, we pulled it out of the bag in the second half. We got the result, and once we got the 2 goals, then we looked comfortable on the ball. We managed the game really, really well, and I think it was good preparation for what we're going to move on to now, which is the cup final, because what they're able to do now is score a goal, just get the lead, and then manage the game really, really well, knowing that they're going to get a game every 3-4 days. So transitioning from that, which was an amazing result against Barcelona, over the 2 legs, we got through. Really happy. Then we came to this game, Manchester United Newcastle, 2-0, Carabao Cup winners. The first 5 minutes we came out of the block strong. I was looking at it thinking to myself, a lot of energy, but then Newcastle kind of took more possession, and they had a lot more possession in the game. But at no stage really did I think to myself, they look really dangerous. Man United like protected their back line really, really well. And Casemiro jumping in sometimes as nearly a third centre back with Martinez and Varane. Like they're just three really, really excellent defensive footballers. Then Casemiro comes up and gets the goal in the other end. And I loved the fact, like with Ten Hag, you've got even the pundits now, you can see the lack of knowledge they have compared to an elite manager like this, because Gary Neville was saying, it was just after second half, and he was saying, I think they'll bring on Sancho now to change things up. What does Ten Hag do? Brings on McTominay and Sabitzer just to close the game out and manage the game for the rest of the times, because he said to himself, okay, I'm going to save legs here because I know we have 2 more big games next week against West Ham and Liverpool. And Newcastle never looked like winning the game. Very, 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 very professional performance. And having Varane at the back, along with Martinez, then in the midfield, Fred with Casemiro. Fred can be one of the best players in the pitch, but he has a tendency to make a mistake that can give a goal away, which is still a bit scary. De Gea pulled out 1 or 2 good saves. The keeper with the most clean sheets ever that's played for United. And then you have
187 or something, was it?
Something like that. Yeah. I'm not sure of the number, to be quite honest with you. But then Rashford up front with Fernandes. Yeah, look, that's 9 players I've called out there of a core of a team. And then you've everyone he brings in, even the Austrian sausage, even though he's not scoring goals, he's performing well. Sabitzer comes in,
contributing to the team,
performing. But everybody's doing a job, and even Dalot started on right back, but he said at halftime, because he was up against Saint-Maximin. He was getting the legs ran off because he played against Barca as well in the second half. I'll bring on Wan-Bissaka, and Wan-Bissaka just closed everything down. He just didn't know what to do. And tactically, he just really, really seems like he knows what he's doing.
It's like, you know what it's like, Paddy, right? I can't just this Chelsea, you know, when you have a manager who's just really good at managing players, and he's able to keep even the substitutes happy. So when the substitutes aren't selected, they're not too disheartened, where sometimes you can get a group of players where if things aren't going right, well, let's look at Chelsea. The results aren't going right. So now players, I've seen it in reports that the players that aren't getting selected in the starting lineup are now getting very frustrated because we're not winning games, and they're thinking, we could have fucking won it if I was starting. And Ten Hag has completely got the opposite, because he's getting the results and he's able to manage every single one of them players, and not one player looks unhappy at Manchester United at the moment, because he's able to bring them on, and they come on and they have an impact.
Yeah, and you're right, and it's easy to do that when you're winning. It's easy to keep everyone happy. Like Ferguson was a master at that, keeping the whole squad. And I've heard so many players that played under Ferguson saying Ferguson would come to you and say, "You're not playing today or next week, but I have you earmarked now for this game in 2 weeks' time, and you're going to be integral." And they prepared for that. But Ten Hag just seems to be big enough for the club, because Manchester United is one of the biggest jobs in the world. But to be lost in Alex Ferguson's shadow, not a bit of it. He goes out for dinner with him last week. After the final, he shakes his hand. He embraces Alex Ferguson being there. He doesn't want to avoid Alex Ferguson being there. He embraces it. He's like, I want to learn from him. I want to, like, how he ran the club. Look, I'm a very, very, very happy man. And I would say every single Manchester United supporter out there as well, because it's been a long time since we've been able to be this happy and this confident about our team. Like, even when Mourinho was there and winning things, you always got the feeling with Mourinho that he'd be gone in 2 or 3 years, because he doesn't stay anywhere for too long. It feels like now Ten Hag could be here for the long haul and bring a lot of success to the club.
And the most informed team in Europe at the moment, Paddy. I think it's something like 27, 28 games without defeat or something like that. I think it's something crazy. So he's doing all the right things. He's singing all the right tunes. Alex Ferguson was in the dressing room singing and dancing with the players. Obviously, he's fucking 8 years of age now, so he wasn't doing too much dancing, but he was there. He was fucking, his presence was felt, and that's what that's what we were always talking about when I used to joke about it and everybody used to say, "Oh, go fuck yourself." Ollie's culture thing. Ollie never brought back any culture. Ten Hag has the culture of Manchester United back, and the culture of Manchester United was a winning culture.
Yeah.
It was nothing else, right? There was nothing about it. It was a work hard and a win culture. And whatever you want about Ollie felt like a little bit like home because he was a Manchester United legend. He didn't bring the tactical and the managerial pedigree that you want as a Manchester United manager.
You see, he understood what the culture of Manchester United was, but he just didn't have the tactical knowledge to bring the results to match the culture.
Exactly, yeah. He knew what it was.
Yeah,
he knew what it was.
Yeah.
Right, Paddy, well, look, anything else you want to say about that win for United?
No, I won't bore the viewers anymore. I think that's quite enough said about Manchester United.
Right, Paddy, we're going to move on to the fantasy football. Paddy, we've had some big movements in the fantasy football this week, so we're going to have a quick look at it and see where we're at. Pulling it up on the screen for anybody that's listening on Spotify. If anybody is listening on Spotify or Apple or watching us on YouTube, make sure you hit subscribe, rate us 5 stars if you can, if you're listening to us. I know it's a big hassle for you, but if you can just click onto the menu and little 5-star rating, take you 2 seconds, and we appreciate it big time. And follow us on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, wherever you want to get.
4-star.
4-star. No, fuck 4-star.
I would prefer 5, obviously, but if I'm gonna give a 4,
5 or nothing. Right, 5 or nothing. Fuck that. I'm not being ungrateful or anything, spoiled or anything, but I want 5. Right, Paddy. This is my team. I used me wild card this week. I took a big gamble. I had 4 or 5 players that weren't playing. So I said, you know what? I've marked it out for the next 3 weeks, and then I'm just going to have to adapt to what comes up then after that. So I played me wild card. Average was 39 points, and I've got 58 so far. In goal, Alisson, 6 points. Then I have Kilman, who I thought might have got a clean sheet, didn't. 2 points. Then I've got Ben White, who got 7, who has another match tomorrow at home against Everton, so another chance of a clean sheet. Tarkowski, I think everybody brought him in with 1 point, and he's playing Arsenal again, so not going to get anything else there. Trent, 6 points, and he's playing Wolves then tomorrow night, so hopefully another 6, maybe an assist and a goal. I have Pereira, I brought him for 1, didn't expect that now, but he was cheap. I had Salah as captain. He got 6 points in the first game, so hopefully he can get a bit more against Wolves. Martinelli with 10 points. Maybe should have made him captain. I think I was a toss-up between them two. So 10 points from him. Still, again, as a game against Everton tomorrow. Odegaard with 3, a game against Everton tomorrow. Haaland with 10 up top with Kane, who got 6. So, Paddy, a good week for me.
All right.
We will move down and we'll have a look. Now, Paddy, I know this is going to spoil it for anybody watching, but I have actually moved top of the league between ourselves.
Yes.
And you'll see why here, because you've got 39 points. Talk us through what you've done here and tell us the
So to give some context, Colly always slags me when we're on the group chats and stuff, because he says I'm like his dad for technology. Like, I got a new phone and I'm sending like random emojis and stuff because I'm learning how to use the phone.
So, on TikTok, I get random waving hands because Paddy just presses the button. I wanted to see what the button done.
So when I done, what's it called, the wild card last week?
Wild card you played, yeah.
I thought that was the one where you only changed it for 1 week. I thought it was the free hit. Yeah, exactly. So I said, oh, that's grand. I got a lot of players in that'll play 2 games. I thought, brilliant. Absolutely can't do any better than this. And then I went to pick my team this week and I was like, why is there fucking a load of Liverpool players still in my team? I was like, oh shit, no way. So now I'm playing catch up. I'm going to be doing transfers for the next couple of weeks. So yeah, it's probably going to really affect me badly. But right, Ederson and goal. They conceded, but they won. Man City, the scumbags. Saiba got me 6. Connor Cody, I thought he might do something, but he got nothing. Alexander-Arnold, 6 points and still to go against Wolves at home. Salah, me captain as well, same as yourself. I got Neves from Wolves with 2 games, hoping to do something.
I was going to bring him in as well. Yeah, that was good. And Iwobi, I was going to bring Iwobi in as well.
Iwobi with 2 games. No, I don't want Neves or Iwobi for the rest of the season. I just wanted them for these 2 games, but now I'm stuck with them for the rest of the fucking season. Saka, look, who should be scoring and assisting and a lot more. He's actually a really good player. Get the fucking finger out, Saka, and start scoring more. Darwin Núñez, look, he didn't even play. He wasn't even on the bench. And it doesn't say he's injured or anything. Like, what the hell? Like, has Klopp just lost faith in him completely and just didn't do anything with him at all? Like, he's like the rest of us. He realizes how shit he is. Right. And then Haaland, yeah, great Haaland. Well done. And Naby Keita.
Naby Keita? You can't say that. It's Nketiah. Naby Keita plays for Liverpool.
How was it?
Oh, Jesus.
That's another dad moment.
There you go, Dad. Talk us through your bench as well. This is what you're going to be left with.
But look, Darwin Núñez is probably not going to play against Wolves either. And there's no one to come off the bench to give me any points. I don't want to talk through the bench. Why would I talk through the bench? There's 0 points there. No. I picked the 4 players, the cheapest players for me subs, because I thought I'll get them all in because it's only 1 week. Idiot.
What an idiot. We're going to move on to Connor's team. He got 41 points. Not bad.
Connor beat me.
He's not even making subs. Pope. He still has Cancelo in the team. I think he's just just ridiculous. Saliba, Cancelo, Schär, Cody, De Bruyne, Trossard, Almiron, Haaland, Kane.
Just doesn't care, does he?
Yeah, he doesn't care.
And he still beat me.
Still beat you. We'll have a look at the main podcast page now, Paddy. O'Shane Kane is still top. 40 points, 1622, ahead of Colly Lamb, who's in second.
Not much in it.
Not much in it. It's only 7 points in it. There's 9 points in it. Dean Fletcher then is in third. Then Lee Dillon, Alan Donovan up to 5th. Sonny McGreevy up to 6th. Johnny Murphy drops down to 7th. Anto O'Rourke drops down to 8th. Tony Tam down to 9th. And Connor Ennis is in 10th. Paddy, for the record, I'm actually up to 28 in our league.
All right. So what?
That's not bad.
So what?
14, still about 150 points behind. But sure, look, you never know. Could make a comeback.
You never know.
Right. That's all we have on the fantasy football. Paddy, will we do the bets now, or do we do the review and do the bets at the end?
Well, no, last week we didn't even know whether we were going to do the bets, and then we just threw them in at the end. So maybe do the bets now.
We do the bets now, okay. I don't have a graphic for it. Let me see. What can I use? I can use this one here.
I hear you're a racist now, father.
I don't know how I can use that, but look, I've tried to use it.
Your man, the betting.
Yeah. Right. Paddy, I'm going to pull up the screen here and we'll have a look at what we've done. So as we said, me and yourself are restarting and Connor has gone on to bet number 2. So this one here is my bet. I've gone with a tenner on a 4-fold, €26 back. I've gone with Burnley to beat Fleetwood and these are all on tomorrow. I've gone with Arsenal to beat Everton. I've gone with Liverpool to beat Wolves. That's a little bit of a jinx, but I don't mind it. Don't mind it. And then I've gone with Marseille to beat Annery or Annecy, whatever the fuck they're called. You could maybe do it without putting Marseille. I mean, they're 1-7. Doesn't boost it that much, but I just said, fuck it, I'll throw it in. Just get whatever I can out of it. So, 26 quid back, hopefully, from that one. This one here is your one, Paddy. Do you want to talk us through it?
Yeah, Rashford to score 2 goals against West Ham tomorrow night. Come on.
What are the odds and price and return?
I got the price boost, which I always go for the boost. I love a boost. 15-2. So nice. Tenner will get me back €85. Sorry, I keep on forgetting about the Spotify listeners, and so I'm just saying, like, there's me bet there on the screen, and they're probably like, I need to know.
Tell me that bet.
So I'll be €85 richer tomorrow night.
Fair enough.
And then I'm going to do a 12-1 bet and just win the €1,000.
Fair enough. I don't know. This is Connor's one, so he's gone his second bet. So his last bet won. I think he had a little treble on or something like that. Oh no, he had a double, and it won. So he's gone on to bet number 2, which is a little double again. Chelsea to beat Leeds. I can already tell you that that's not going to happen. And Leicester to beat Southampton away, 13-8. So, it's about 5-1 or about 4.5-1 because he's put €24 on it and he's getting €100 back and 80 cents. So that is Connor's bet number 2 of the challenge. So, Paddy,
pretty good.
We're gonna move off that. I promise I'll have a graphic done up for that fucking this betting next week. I promise you.
Very good.
Do you believe me?
Can't wait.
Right, Paddy, we're going to move on to the predictions.
The music off that one always makes me gyrate. Let me see. I always give it a bit of a hip thrust. It gives me yeah.
Do you want me to play it again?
Yeah, go on, yeah. And everyone else, go on, hip thrust to it.
Okay, let's go.
It's very
hip
thrusty, isn't it?
Yeah, see what you mean. Yeah. Might play that when I'm making sweet love. Right, Paddy. The first game we have. First game we have is Arsenal and Everton. Paddy, how do you think this one is going to go? Do you think they're going to beat them?
Yes.
This is tomorrow night, by the way.
Yes, absolutely. I thought Everton under Sean Dyche, they had one good game when he came back. Yeah, not much since then, really. I can see a fairly convincing Arsenal win, probably 3-0, and Martinelli to score.
Yeah, I think you're probably right there. I don't see. I know I've been calling that Arsenal aren't going to win the league, but I think their next 3 or 4 games should be fairly handy for them. Yeah. So I'm not expecting them to drop any points. If they drop any points, that's when I'll be kind of like, oh, here we go. This is it. Like so. Yeah. I'm going to say a win for Arsenal. I'm going to say 3-1. I'm going to say Saka to score twice because he's due goals. So I'm going to go with him. Next one, Paddy. Again, tomorrow night, Liverpool versus Wolves. I'm going to jump in here and I'm going to say that I think Liverpool are narrowly going to win this one. I don't think anything is easy for Liverpool these days because they make everything very difficult. And I'm going to say they're going to go 1-0 down as well. They're not going to keep clean sheet and they're going to win 2-1. So I'm saying 1-0 down, come back to win 2-1. And I'm going to say Gakpo is going to score. What do you think?
Wolves spanked Liverpool only a few weeks ago. So I'm going to go with a draw. I'm actually going to go for a scoreless draw because watching the game against Palace, they don't have much firepower going forward. Now I know it's in Anfield. It's a different. So it could be 1-1, but I'm going to go for a scoreless draw.
Right. Okay. Fair enough. Next one, Paddy, is, and we said we'd throw in a few of these now that we're coming towards the end of the season, the Man City and Arsenal games. Man City and Newcastle, Paddy, I don't know if you agree with me on this one, but I think Newcastle are going to be so deflated now after that defeat on Sunday. I just think because they weren't really in the best form going into it, and now this is kind of like kicking you in the face while you're down.
But it could be also the catalyst for Eddie Howe to say to the players, okay, this is out of our systems now, because the Carabao Cup final could have been in the back of their heads for the last few weeks, and that could have been one of the reasons why the performances dropped. I know they were missing your man with the white hair, plays in midfield. He's one of the creative midfielders. Yeah, they were missing him the last few weeks in the Premier League, but they had him back for the Carabao Cup final.
Yeah.
But this is against Manchester City. But then it depends on which Manchester City turn up, because they've been stop-start this season. If the usual Man City in the Etihad turn up, they'll easily win. But if they're anyway off their game, and Newcastle use this defeat to say to themselves, look, we've a really good chance of getting into the Champions League here, but we need to start getting points together. They could get a performance. So it's a very hard one to kind of predict, but I'm going to go against the grain, and I'm going to say a Newcastle win, 2-1, and Saint-Maximin score.
Oh, interesting. I think what I'm saying is more that they're going to be a little bit deflated. I get what you're saying, and yeah, to be fair, it's a good shout. They could have had it in the back of their mind and not really so much concentration going on the league now. But I think they may be tired and maybe kind of mentally exhausted at the moment. Again, Newcastle, this is the first season where they're really kind of looking to challenge and like we all said, maybe 4 years, like they're kind of ahead of schedule looking at the table. Like I think honestly, so they're kind of maybe they've peaked and they're just kind of falling back down a little bit. But I do think that Man City are going to beat them here, and probably a comfortable enough. And I think it's probably going to be 3-0. Going to go 3-0, and I'm going to give you 3 scorers, Paddy. I'm going to say Alvarez. I'm going to say Foden. I'm going to say Kevin De Bruyne. All three of
So
them are
you
going to score.
So do you think Newcastle, their level now is Europa League? They're a Europa League team at the moment.
I think so. I think Europa is a fair place to call them. I think they're probably still missing one or two players, good, decent players, to be challenging for top four properly. I think they're Europa level. Like,
who do you think is getting fourth spot?
to be honest with you, like Liverpool are in with a show, and I know everyone will say, no, they're too far behind. I still think if they go on a good run, they could potentially do it. But Spurs then as well, for me, can do it. If
Starting to find a bit of form, are they?
Yeah, they are, yeah. If Conte can come back, get them going again, get a couple of results together, I think they can slip into the fourth place there. So
yeah,
I think Spurs or Liverpool will take that. I just don't see Newcastle having it in them. Not this season anyway.
Yeah.
I think they'll have a strong window
Big
in
ask.
the summer. Yeah, I think they'll have a strong window in the summer and then possibly challenge then next year. But yeah, that's the way I see it for now.
Yeah.
Right, we move on to the next one. Arsenal and Bournemouth. How do you see this one going, Paddy?
Arsenal at home. Yeah, I see them getting a result here as well. As you said, the three handy-ish on paper looking games coming up. I'm going to go for a 2-1 win to Arsenal and Naby Keita to score.
Yeah, I agree. I think it'll be 2-0 to Arsenal. And I think Martinelli may score on this one. So yeah, that's all I have to say about this one. Paddy, oh, for fuck's sake. Chelsea versus Leeds. Tell me what you think.
Give me a bit of background on the history between these, though.
I don't know.
Any real history in between them? Like, because
Jimmy Floyd, Hasselbank. We signed Hasselbank from them. That's about it.
No, yeah.
Like I always think that these are a team that Chelsea should comfortably be beaten, and we what I can remember, I think we usually do beat them fairly handily. Like I actually think the last time we played them, they might have beaten us. Let me just double check that because I know a few Leeds fans, so I remember recently taking some stick off them. So I think they might have beaten
the manager.
us. I believe they have as well. I believe that this is kind of their first match with the manager. Some meetings. So yeah, they beat us 3-0 this season. I knew that. I knew they were after hammering us. But before that, we beat them 3-0, then 3-2. We drew 0 all the way. Beat them 3-1. Beat them 5-1. Beat them 1-0. So like we beat them usually fairly comfortably. When we beat them, we usually score 2 or 3 goals against them.
The old Chelsea.
The old Chelsea.
Chelsea.
That's the only thing. Not the new Chelsea. The old Chelsea. Now, Chelsea of last year under Thomas Tuchel scored 3 goals against them in both games. We scored no goals against them this season.
Yeah, stop living in the past. Rory, what do you think this one, Chelsea Leeds? Give it to me.
I think. What do I think? I don't know what I think.
Thiago's out.
I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna back Chelsea here in this one. I think this is the game where Potter gets a result and potentially kickstarts the season. The season for Chelsea could begin after this win. And I'm going to say they're going to win 2-0. And Havertz, who everybody has been saying shouldn't be playing, is going to score in this game and shut people up. So that's why I'm going to go. Paddy, what do you think?
Yeah, look, I want to say a draw because of how bad form Chelsea have been in, but I do think Chelsea are just going to get a win.
Yeah.
Leeds could score though, because as you said, like you're one of your most consistent players, one of your best players is gone now for God knows how long. So that would be a massive loss. So they probably score a goal. So I'm gonna go 2-1 to Chelsea. And who's the new blondie lad playing for us?
Mudryk.
I'm gonna go, him to get his first goal.
Okay. Right, Paddy, the last game, last but not least, Liverpool versus Manchester United, a big game. How do you see this one going for you?
Can I tell you after Liverpool's game tomorrow?
No.
Oh God. Look, we have a game against West Ham tomorrow, which look, all right, okay, I'm gonna go for a United win here. Liverpool's form is not great. United after this week of football, I would think that this squad team are gonna look. it's going to be very hard to beat. And every game it seems to be to get harder and harder to beat, even when we're not playing that well. But Anfield has always been a really, really difficult ground to go to. Stop Liverpool from scoring in the first 20, 25 minutes. I think, we'll definitely get a win. So I think 2-0 to United and Rashford to score because he's a fucking legend.
He is a bit of a legend at the moment. Paddy, I think this game might be the one where you just get turned over, to be honest with you. And I just feel like you've got so much momentum building, and it doesn't last forever. I don't mean that in a bad way. I don't mean it's gonna really get the play. I just think you're gonna get a bad result here.
Yeah.
And Liverpool, let's be honest, they're gonna up their game for this match. They're gonna want it even more now that like United are kind of potentially going for the league. They'll want to be the ones that pop that balloon.
I can't see United getting anywhere near the league. I think I don't think there's many United supporters talking about United getting the league. I don't think we're in the race. I don't. I think next season definitely. We still have a couple of cups to go in, but I can't see the Premier League. No, I can't see Arsenal dropping that many points.
If Arsenal go on the run that I think they're going to go on within the next couple of weeks, I think Manchester United are going to win the league. That's just my opinion. So Paddy, I'm going to go with a 2-1 win for Liverpool. I know you won't want to hear that, but that's what I think.
I'm going to
say.
No, I'm surprised.
Yeah, I'm going to say Nunes to score because the United fans love giving him a bit of stick, and I just think a lot of stars are going to align for Liverpool in this game, and stuff's just going to fall from. I bet you he gets the sloppiest goal. It'll like bounce off his cock or something and just go in.
Not against
accident.
Not against Martinez and Varane. I think if anyone's going to score, Salah will score.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah. So yeah, Paddy, that's it. We're wrapped up. It's been emotional. If anybody is watching, again, like I said, if you're watching on YouTube, listening on Facebook, listening on Spotify and Apple, make sure you hit subscribe. Make sure you follow us, send a comment in. Get onto our TikTok page, our Instagram page, follow us there. We're everywhere. So yeah, you have a little chat with us. We'll gladly talk back to you. And make sure you give us 5-star rating on Spotify and Apple because we don't want 4s, Paddy. We want 5s.
No, I'll take a 4. We'll take a 4.
No, we're better than 5s. We're better than that.
I'm just thinking here. The more I think about it, actually, I think United are definitely going to win because Rashford against Van Dijk, he's going to rip him a new arsehole. He really is. He won't be able to keep up with him. Can't wait.
Right, fair enough. Okay. Right, Paddy, that's it. I'm going to wrap it up. Thanks for joining us this week. Maybe we might see Connor next week, depending on what result we see from Liverpool.
Yeah, true. No, you won't see him next week. Definitely not, because United are going to win. Come on.
Okay. Thanks, yeah, all right. We'll be back next Tuesday, 8 p.m. YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. We'll see everybody then.